Hello, welcome to Sheepdog Says. I promised on Friday that I would do a recap of the Pokemon Go Extravaganza and the Bulbasaur day to let you know how I was getting on. I've had a bit of a stressful Bulbasaur community day, but I got to say, the morning went really well. We got up, the fact the clocks went back didn't really help anyone's mood, but that's, you know, it can't be avoided. I think for the first hour, my son just seemed to just go, oh, there's a shiny one, catch. Oh, there's a shiny one, catch. Whilst I just ground through complete non-shiny, not even decent Pokemon. Which is quite frustrating, I must say, because this is exactly what happened with the Dratini event and the Pikachu event. But then, after about 55 minutes or so, it wasn't quite an hour, all three events have done the same thing. It's almost like they only let the slightly high, I mean, I'm only level 34, I'm not level 40 like a lot of people, but it's like they only let the adults start getting shinies once all the kids have had a go, and once the you know, the players have got really into it. Once we were up and running, once I caught one, I think I ended up with 5 in total. I did I've evolved one of each, and I've got 2 spare. I got a really lame, I think it was a shiny 11 CP Bulbasaur. Evolved it into a Venusaur, so I've got like 39 CP, but it's you know, it's shiny, it looks cool. I stuck it in a gym. One thing I've noticed, I mean, it's common knowledge, but one thing that you might not be aware of, and my son wasn't aware of, so I thought it might be useful here, is even though that's a 40 CP Pokemon, it will still need 3 attempts to break it in the gym. Someone who goes to attack that will still need to chip it from 49 to like 30, from 30 to 15, and then 15 to 0. They can't just kill it in one go. So I'm kind of indifferent, because if somebody's going to sit there and do go to the lengths of fighting a Pokemon 3 times either way, then it doesn't matter whether I put that one there or another one. I just think it'd be nice for someone to see that and go, you know, I didn't see it shiny, or, you know, I assume most people who care will have done. It'd be interesting for you to let me know in the comments whether you caught it today, whether you got all the shinies evolved. I did the same with the Dragonites. I got 1 of each. I got the green one and the 2 pink ones. I like this event. I like this platform. I like the way they do it, because it keeps me going. I mean, this is the first time we've left early. We drove around town for about, God, my glasses are steaming. We drove around town for 2.5 hours before we decided that we'd had enough. I did say to my son, you're going to run out of Pokeballs soon. Do you want to keep going, or do you want to, you know, stop now and save sort of 20 or 30, because all you're going to be doing is catching Bulbasaur. You've already got them all now. He said, no, keep going. So we did. And I'm glad we did, because it had triple experience, and I'd brought an event box that meant I had Stardust bonuses, which I think I ended up with something like 90,000 extra Stardust out of this, which is great, because I'll use that to do some evolving later. But within 20 minutes of me asking him if he wanted to go before he had no balls left, he ran out of balls. So the second he said that, I said, let's shoot off. A few spawned at my house as well once we got here, but I do feel a little bit peeved, because when I looked at my Pokedex afterwards, I thought I'd check, because before the day I had something like 15 Bulbasaur caught, because I didn't ever evolve it to full. I happened to be near a train station one day, and a Venusaur appeared and I caught it. So I don't think I ever had more than maybe 20 Bulbasaur candy, and I've never really bothered to catch them when I've seen them out and about. So I went from a very little number of them caught to 98. So I was two away from getting to 100 caught. I've seen something like 120. They are monsters for running away and you know, jumping out the balls and whatnot. I think they tweaked it for the event, but it was still getting out. I mean, I wasted so many balls. I started with over 150 Pokeballs. I'm just having a quick look on my phone now, which is below the screen, and I have 16. I can't do quick maths. 23 Pokeballs of all types there in total left, and that's me, and that is with me having walked across our town to try and hatch a few eggs. Now, I mentioned I'd do a recap of how the Eggstravaganza event's going, and to be honest, if I'd have done the update this morning like I was going to straight after the Bulbasaur event, I think this would have been a full-on rant, because at that point I'd spent £5 I'd got all of my eggs cleared the day before, and it was all event Pokemon. I'd hatched something like 3 Sveal, which are the little round seal Pokemons. They're blue, little ice Pokemon, which are everywhere when it snowed, basically. So I've already cleared the ice badge. I've already evolved it fully. I've already got really strong ones. I don't have anything to do with it. So they all just went straight in the meat grinder. And then I hatched a load of Swablu, which would be great, except for I've already evolved that. They're everywhere because it's always windy. So I was a bit miffed because I think that was 5 eggs and it was the same 2 Pokemon. Then it decided to mix it up a bit and give me a Swinub, which nobody's needed since about a year and a half ago. That'll be useful next gen because it evolves into Mamoswine, which is a massive beastie Pokemon. But again, I was like, why are you even in eggs? Why are you here? What are you doing? Get out. So he went straight in the grinder as well. I did start ranting to my friends at this point. I sent them a list because I think what tipped me over the edge was I got a Smoochum, which again is a baby Jinx, and I was just like, why are you here? Like, there's meant to be shiny ones in the eggs. You can hatch a shiny Smoochum, but this one was not shiny. It was just a plain, boring Smoochum. I've not needed that in about a year and a half either. 2 Igglybuff, a friggin' Igglybuff. Like, why are you there? All I kept thinking was, no, you shouldn't be in these eggs. You're not supposed to be here. You've ruined it. This event is a con. And I was all kind of ready to have a bit of a moan. I then planned on going for a nice walk with my family. We were driving across, and I said to my wife, well, if we're going for a walk, I was very honest with her. I said, do you mind if I spend £10 on Pokemon? And she said, that's a lot of money. And I said, I have already spent a £5, so what I'm actually asking is if you mind me spending another £5 because we're going for a nice walk and it'd be quite cool. So she said, okay, fair enough. She did reveal she'd spent £15 on something that she hadn't told me about, so I felt like we were even. But then my phone had a massive mess up. It asked me, so when I went to pay for the coins, it said to me, you need to verify your card. And I put my card details in on my phone, and then I pressed go, and it said the purchase was successful. But then when I looked in the game, there was no coins there at all. And I was like, no. So I had a quick look, and then I did it again. When I bought it the second time, it updated both purchases. So I was staring at my phone thinking, well, I didn't mean to do this and I don't want to spend this much. As I worded it to my wife, I'll spend a tenner, but 15 is crazy. So I basically, I spent the next half an hour on Apple Care trying to get my £5 back, thinking they'd just reverse the transaction and I'd give the coins back and it'd all be fine. But I don't know if you've ever had to return credit on a phone or whatever, or like a premium currency, but they don't have any mechanism for doing that. So she just gave me the £5 back, but said, okay, keep the currency. Now, that baffles me. As a system, that baffles me, and I don't really get, where's the line on that? If I'd have accidentally gone and bought the £100 one, what would they have done then? Would they have just gone, here's your £100 back, but keep... I suppose that's probably why they don't care, because it's only a £5. But I had a very, it was a very lucky moment, basically, because it meant that then I had enough coins that I bought something like 8 incubators. I did one of their special boxes and then bought a few extra on top. So then we got to where we were going, but my kids were having a bit of a meltdown in the car. So we literally drove into the car park, parked, reversed out of the car park and went home. So I was sat there thinking, I've just spent, well, officially a tenner, but I'm getting £5 back on these incubators, but I'm not getting anything from them. So I said to my wife, drop me off in town and I'll walk back. And on that walk, which I've just got in from, which is why I look a little bit flustered, I was a bit steamed up earlier in the video, things have actually started looking up. I mean, I keep hatching Barboach as well. I've not mentioned that one. That one is a real kick in the teeth because I hate that Pokemon and I just couldn't believe it. I hatched a Numel, which I'm happy with because whilst I already have the camera up that it evolves into, it's decent, it's all right. Like, it's not going to go in any gyms, I suppose, but I like it. I hatched a Maku Hitter, which annoyed me because, again, that's been around forever. But that's got some use to me because I still haven't got the fighting badge. I need to catch, I think it's 200 fighting Pokemon and I'm only at 150. I've got another Togepi. I was like, that's not even shiny. Why are you here? But then I've had 2 that I was happy with, and a Cleffa. Cleffa, don't want that. But I had a Bagon and a Trapinch. I also had a Beldum, but I've already fully evolved Beldum, but knowing I've got another one that's something like 93-95% is good, I'll save that and get that to the full. But I'd never seen or had the evolution of Bagon and Trapinch, which are Vibrava and Shelgon. I've got them in front of me. I'm not just doing this all from memory, although I probably could if you put me to it. But no, it meant that on my walk back I got to evolve them. I've got still something like, I'm just having a quick look, I've got like another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've still got another 8 uses. I think if I did the maths quick enough there, it might even be more uses. I think I just counted 3 2 uses. Yeah, so I've got plenty more eggs to hatch. I've got one that's just about to hatch. It says it's at 1.3. I think I've got to walk another 30 meters. If I'd known that, I'd have done it before the video to let you know what it was. But I think the only thing that's bothering me now is in all the marketing, they make this look like you will get a Wine or an Azurill or one of the other sort of rare baby Pokemon. And all I've got so far are the really common baby Pokemon. And then luckily, just before this, I've got a couple of good ones. But then I am a little bit kind of perturbed by it. I know it's all random, and I know that someone out there could be watching this going, well, I didn't spend anything, and I've just been using the normal one. And because I walk a lot, I've hatched 10 awesome, perfect, 100 IV Pokemon. But that's not been my experience so far. My son hatched a couple of Seville earlier and wasn't impressed. He has also scored a massive own goal by putting his 10k egg in his infinite incubator, meaning he can't hatch any other eggs until he's hatched that one, and he's only 5k through it. Which I told him not to do it, but kids don't listen. I'll let him come on a video at one point. I would have let him on today, but again, kids were being nightmares, so we didn't get a nice walk around Fairy Meadows. We're going to go do a Lugia raid in about 10 minutes. And I'm hoping that it'll be a shiny for him. I've already got the nice shiny one. It's got the pink belly. It looks really cool. I'm hoping I'll get some shiny babies, as well as getting the new babies that I need. I think they're pretty much two of the maybe 4 that I've not seen on the game yet. I'm at 361 seen, and I am at, what am I at now? 352 caught. I've completed 2 generations. I just need to complete this last one now, which means they're probably going to release everything else and the new generation in the next month or so, just to spite me. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been interesting enough, because I know that not everyone out there watches Pokemon. Let me know what you've done today in the comments. I promise that I'll try and go that next week without doing any Pokemon videos, unless you really want them. I'm generally going to just try and mix it up a bit, but today was Bulbasaur Community Day, so yeah, it was a good day with some naughty children just to mix it up with. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, help me get to 1,000. I was aiming to get to 200 by the end of today, but it's not going to happen. I think I'm at 179. So I mean, if you're watching today and you haven't subscribed yet, please, because I'm 21 away. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye bye.